Good afternoon and welcome to yet another episode of these Facebook Lives. The topic of today is what drives you. And this is linked to transactional analysis. I always have a problem when I pronounce the word too quickly. And they're drivers. And what are drivers? There's 5. Let me name them and then you'll definitely recognize some of them. Be perfect. Please others. Hurry up. Try hard or make an effort. And be strong. These are the drivers. And they drive us in our behavior. And we link them to our okayness. So what does that mean? If I suffer from please others, whenever I don't feel well, I don't feel okay, because that's what one should do. And of course we know it's not always possible, but I'm driven to always please others, because only then I am okay. Do you remember the logical levels with the beliefs? Basically the drivers can be seen as like these basic beliefs that everybody has. And some suffer from them a bit more than others. And usually everybody has 2 that are a bit stronger. And I believe you can definitely work on them, but possibly you always remain a little bit sensitive to them. Okay, so transactional analysis, we all have them. Where do they come from? They often come from our education. So probably these are the phrases that our parents told us. Maybe we heard them at school from the teachers, and somehow these messages got ingrained in our minds. They can be good and they can be bad. Of course, it's good to be driven by some valuable things. So pleasing people, pleasing others, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's good. Trying to do a good job, so to be perfect, is good. Nothing wrong with that. When do they become negative? When I am not using them wisely, as in when it's stronger than myself, and even in situations where logically I should know it's not possible to please others, be perfect, be strong, etc., etc., somehow I can't help it, I still have to do it. And this is where they become negative, and this is where they can push us beyond the limit and cause stress and even burnout. They can also be linked to other kinds of behavior. For instance, if I suffer from please others, it's going to be very hard for me to say no and be assertive, for instance. So you can really use this in lots of situations. So what is my plan? I'm going to talk you through all 5 of them, and then I'm going to give you some allowers. What is an allower? An allower is the positive message of the driver. So it's something that you could tell yourself. It's like another belief, a more empowering one, to deal with this driver in situations where the driver isn't possible. Okay, so it'll become clear as I go along. Let's start with the first one. Be perfect. When I suffer from be perfect, somehow there must be some false promise behind that creates the illusion that I can be perfect. And that's wrong, because as we all know, it is not possible to be perfect. What do I mean? Well, what's perfect to me is maybe not perfect to you. Or what's perfect for me today is not perfect tomorrow with what I know then. So it is really not possible to be perfect. That's an illusion. What does the life of a perfect person look like? A be perfect person? And many of you will suffer from this, but of course there's degrees. I'm going to give you the totally exaggerated story, obviously. This is how I make my point. I suffer from be perfect, suppose. So I want to be the perfect wife, perfect mother, perfect employee or entrepreneur, whatever, perfect daughter, perfect sister, perfect friend, perfect. And that rules my whole day. So In some stress management course, I was told it is good to have some me time and to do some yoga and meditate. So I put my alarm in the morning at 5:30 because that's the only moment in the day where I would be able to do this. And then I go to my specially designed place where I have 15 minutes of meditation and 50 minutes of yoga. I've done it. Then I go to the kitchen and I prepare everything for my family. I bake my own bread. It's better than the shop. I prepare fresh smoothies and juices. I prepare the clothes for everybody. I lay them out so they don't have to look for them. For all my children, for my husband, he likes it too. Then we sit together at breakfast table. It's good. That's what a good mother does. Then I drive them to school. I have some quality time with them in the car because that's what's important. At work, I do a good job because that's what I'm supposed to do. During the coffee break, I call my husband because he likes that. Now I'm the good wife. At lunch, I do some steps for my 10,000 steps. And I already order the shopping that I can pick up afterwards. So that's organized. I always have the perfect household. Afternoon, work again. Make sure everything's organized. I don't forget birthdays of friends, send a quick mail, whatever. Do already the banking. Everything's under control. Then I go home, pick up the children, maybe drive them to some hobbies. We have a 3-course meal every day because food is important. A good mother makes sure there's good food on the table. Nothing from the fridge, nothing from tins, everything fresh. That's a good mother. I prepare a cake from scratch for the birthday of a child tomorrow. I'm not buying this. A good mother prepares it herself. I look for recipes on Pinterest. What else? I sit next to the children so they do their homework. That's what a good mother does. Then we have our quality meal. Afterwards, I sit also half an hour next to my husband on the sofa. He likes that. That's what a good wife does. Are you getting as tired as me from just listening to the story? This is Mrs. Be Perfect. Now, again, of course I exaggerated, but I think many of you might recognize some things. What is the allower? The allower is be realistic. As in, you choose where you want to do something very well, what's important for you, and then for the rest, maybe good is good enough. For instance, if I like good food or healthy food, for instance, personally, I do, so I usually cook something fresh, but there might be things that have been frozen before. There might be some tins, pazienza, I'm sorry. And while I cook, maybe the rest of the house might not be as organized as it could be. Can't do everything. Certain things are going to be a bit better. Other things, good is good enough. Be strong. The be strong is a person who, I have to be strong, I can't be ill, I can't be tired, you have to go on. You just don't stop. Just strong. Again, not bad as such. However, there's limits. You can't always be strong. What does this also mean? That I'm going to work even if I'm very sick? Yeah, possibly I might then infect the others, but never mind. I'll never tell anybody that maybe I could need some help, or I might be upset they don't help me, but then did I ever express I needed help? No, I didn't need it because I'm strong. Everything under control. What is the allower here? The allower is be open. Like if something is hard, say it. If you don't feel well, say it. It doesn't mean like, oh, I have this little thing on my finger, I can't work. No, it's not about that. But sometimes you just need some help or you want to share that things are difficult. Third one, hurry up. Hurry up is the person in the office, at home, who's always like rushing from one thing to the other. The hurry-upper is a person who likes to do lots of things, ideally at the same time. They can't just walk, they're always like rushing from the morning until night. Now it is good that a person tries to achieve as much as possible. Yet we all know that by rushing through everything, mistakes are going to be made. What is also the belief that the person who hurries up has that pushes him to do this? Well, somehow he or she believes that as long as he or she hurries up, he's going to be able to do everything he needs to do in the time available. Personally, I've noticed this isn't possible. I often find myself with a to-do list, and even when I am really efficient and I work all day, there are still going to be some things left on the to-do list. So there are cases where even when I hurry up, it's not going to function. So the allower, take your time. And take your time means that there are going to be things where I can skim through and I can do very quickly. And there's other things that are just going to require time, and I'm going to take that time because it's important. Try hard or make an effort. That's the fourth one. That person feels that if it's not hard, if it didn't cost blood, sweat and tears, it's probably not worthy or something, So I passed an exam, and many people did. Yeah, well, the exam can't have been difficult, can it, if so many people pass? Or I pass an exam and only 5 people out of 100 pass. Yeah, now I did something good. I go to the gym. My trainer says every exercise 5 times, 10 times. What do? Every exercise 6 times, 15 times. That's what I do. Because then I really made an effort. Again, what is the belief here? The belief is that as long as I really make an effort, I'm going to succeed. And unfortunately, this is not true. Unfortunately, there's moments where even if you really make an effort, it's not going to work. Maybe you really made an effort to get that new job and you weren't chosen because somebody else was equally good or better. Not a better person, never, but was a better match. Or maybe in some cases you did go for an exam and you didn't pass, even though you really worked hard for it. It happens. So, what is the allower? Achieve the success you want. And what does that mean? It means that you are going to choose where you're going to go the extra mile and where you're going to put an extra effort, but it really doesn't have to be in every single domain of your life. Please others. Most common, I think, especially with people I have in my courses, together with Be Perfect. When I'm a people pleaser, I'm driven by this because if I don't please a person, I'm not okay. I'm a bad person. I'm selfish. So I always feel like I have to do this. What is the false promise? Like, what is the illusion behind it? Somehow I must believe that it is possible to please everybody. And is it? No, it's not. There's 2 people who ask me something and they both want something else. It is impossible to please both. By pleasing A, I'm not going to please B. By pleasing B, I'm not going to please A. What am I going to do about it? Also, what happens is that if I'm this people pleaser, I often don't take care of my own needs. And we already talked about the needs in a previous episode. So somebody asks me to do something and it really doesn't fit my schedule. But what do I say? Okay, fine. Because I have to please people. That person asks me something else later. What do I say? Okay, fine. A third time, okay, fine. And it didn't suit me at all. And then at some point, I need something from that person. And I ask and he says, I'm sorry, tonight I can't, I'm sorry. Maybe next week, no problem. And I'm there like, after all I've done for you? I'm going to be very frustrated and upset with myself. So what is the allower? The allower is, think of yourself as well. by taking care of myself as well and my needs, whenever I then do something for somebody else, it's going to be like a real yes. And I really want to do this. And there's not going to be any favors in return that I expect of that person. It's much cleaner. So these are the 5 drivers and allowers. Now I have something special for the people on my list. I don't know if you are, but if you are on the list, on Monday or Tuesday, you will receive with the newsletter the questionnaire to determine if you are suffering from be perfect, please people, and so on and so forth. So you're going to be able to do the questionnaire and see the result, and some extra information on what you can do to deal with it. So if you're on the list, you'll get it next week. If not, make sure you are. So go to the website, nancybatons.eu, and you can subscribe by either putting your name in the blue line on top of the website, asking for the newsletter, or by signing up in the ping box for the Defeat Your Stress in 10 Days. Be careful. Even when you put your name, you're not on the list until you confirmed the link in an email you receive immediately after registering. So make sure to do that. And if you're there, you'll get all the information on Monday or Tuesday. Okay? If you liked it, pass it on. And I wish you a wonderful weekend. Take your time. Think of yourself as well. Achieve the success you want. And just have fun. Have a great weekend. Bye.